The Anglo-Mohammedan College could have well been affiliated to an existing university.
Yes.
In which case they couldn't have granted their own degrees.
No.
They could have been affiliated.
Correct. And that's only a recognition of the degree that you, whatever course, like St. Stephen's, is affiliated to Delhi
University.
So you get recognized the degree.
They constituted a university.
Yes.
So that they could themselves grant degrees.
That's correct. And that's for what? Recognition of their course of studies consistent with the standards set up by the government. That's the heart.
What is the year of the setting up of Banaras Hindu University?
Same year, but 16.
Celebrated its 100 years.
1915.
1915.
1915. So
yeah.
2015.
And this college was affiliated with Allahabad University.
That's correct.
And Allahabad University used to confer degrees.
That's correct.
This MAO.
Oh, I see.
So there's
first Calcutta University.
Calcutta and then Allahabad.
Then Allahabad University.
Yes. Therefore, there's a basic, according to me, quote unquote, confusion that the grant of the status or recognition of a degree is the establishment of the institution. Well, today, for example, I set up a minority institution. It's recognized as a minority institution, and I set it up. Will I lose my status under the present law?
Which are the, just as a matter of interest, which are the minority universities in the country today?
Many state universities. Now, after Basha, what has happened is, the states allow a minority institute. What happens is, I want to set up a minority institute, say a Sikh institution or a Christian institution. I set it up.
You have the Christian Medical College, Vellore, for instance.
Well, that's an old institution, but I set it up now. Supposing tomorrow I want to set it up after Basha. Once I set it up, I go to the National Commission for Minority Education. And I apply to them and saying I set it up as a minority institution. They will ask me for several facts as to what is the reason, why have you set it up, where's the funding, are you financially capable, this, that, and the other. And then they will grant me the status of a minority.
But you don't get the status of a university under the Act.
No, you do. You do.
But before 2010?
Before 2010 also?
Because the Act is of 2010, the National Commission.
No, it doesn't matter. Before that also, you do. There are several universities.
No, but they must have applied after the 2010.
That's right. And deemed universities also. And then the third most important point, I'm just broadly telling you, the third most important point. When Basha was decided, the UGC Act was in force. The 1956 Act. The NCMEI was not in force. But the UGC Act was in force. Now, under Section 23 of the UGC Act, nobody can give a degree unless it is through the UGC Act. You can't give a degree. You can't call yourself a university. You're either a deemed to be university or you're a university. Or you can't use the name. So how do I become a university? I mean, it's a contradiction in terms. I set up a minority institution, a minority university, which I'm entitled to, and I'll come to that in a minute. And then the moment I'm registered as a minority institution and I get university status, I become a non-minority institution.
The right to set up probably is now, after TMA Pi, closed from 19(1)G as well as 26.
That's the main, I was coming to that. That's the other scheme that I was coming to. Why did TMA Pi decide what it decided, and why did it leave that question open, which was actually referred to it? I tell your lordships why. I argued in TMA Pi, having opened the argument that, look, both the majority community and the minority community are entitled to set up educational institutions, according to me, of their choice. There is no bar. Court asked me under which provision. I said 19(1)G. 19(1)G talks about occupation. Setting up a university is an occupation. So the majority community can set it up, the minority community can set it up. Both under 19(1)F. But the minority community has something more than 19(1)F. 19(1)G, which is Article 30. Now read Article 30 with me. You don't have to read it, Mullahs. All minorities, all minorities are entitled to set up educational, whether based on religion or language, can set up institutions of their choice. Right? The choice relates to what? School, college, university. Choice can't be limited under Article 30. I can set up a school, I can set up a college, I can set up a university. Now you say I have a right to set up a university, but if I go to the statute, if I go and get myself, go to the UGC and say I'm a university, then I lose my status. It's ununderstandable. The very logic is ununderstandable.
What was the question where the universities had already been set up before 1956 and were already giving degrees? What is the position under the UGC Act?
Well, they were not minorities. We were only.
Forget about minorities.
Yes. Yes, they were giving degrees, Manas, and I tell you, Lodge is there.
Those degrees continued to be recognized and
Yes.
So in your case, you were giving degrees even prior to that.
No.
You were giving degrees after 1920.
After 1920, yes.
So the UGC Act, therefore, to that extent, did it prohibit you from giving the degrees?
No.
No.
So you are independently
Yes.
incorporated.
Till Basha came, Manas. Till Basha came. This Basha came, Manas. It's a very strange situation.
No, even after Basha.
And after 1982 Act also, we were continuing to be a minority institution. Then also, nobody challenged that act. I'll tell you, Lordship, how it came about. But I'm not into the 19... See, basically, Basha says that, look, you could have set up a university and could have given degrees. Well, how could I?
Actually, even after Basha, degrees are given and can be given.
I am on...
Yes.
I request my learned friend.
No, therefore.
It doesn't matter. Every incorrect statement I make need not be corrected. Because every incorrect statement you make, I never correct.
Incorrect statements are very potent.
Incorrect statement you make, I never correct. Because I believe you will always make correct statements. So, Malas, what is the point that I am making? That you can't lose your status as a minority institution the moment the UGC grants you the status of a university. When Article 30 entitles you to set up a university. You can't say now Article 30 doesn't entitle you. So Siddhaj Bhai, when it says, Malas, and this is really the other confusion. Siddhaj Bhai, when it says that Article 30 is an absolute right, is absolutely right when it says that. That absolute right is reference to the choice. That absolute right is not with reference to regulation. Which is why TMA Pi later says, you will be regulated. You can't say that you will not keep your sanitary standards. You can't say that you will not keep this standard, that standard. That comes from where? From 1906. So every university, whether a minority university, will be regulated in public interest under 1906. Right? But it has the right to set it up under 30. Regulation is nothing to do with the establishment. Regulation is to ensure that you keep the standards of education, excellence of education. And without any doubt, Aligarh Muslim University is, the other day I was in Riyadh, giving a lecture. Almost all the doctors are from Aligarh Muslim University serving the royalty there. I was in Doha. All the chartered accountants from Aligarh Muslim University are chartered accountants. are all Muslim. Of course, many of them said, we can't get a job in India. We were forced to come out. We love our country. We'd love to come back.